time for another day of the triathlon. Hope you guys are doing good. We have Atomic versus Asbo today, or in the first of the races, and it's going to be interesting. Asbo is definitely a clear favorite here, but you never know. I really hope that both of them are going to have some good races here. If you have any questions in chat, you can just ask. And yeah. Alright, the countdown is on its way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And do we get a go? Alright, so it's gonna start very soon. Alright, and there we go. And I think Asbo, who is hosting, is going to make this. Yeah, perfect. I think. Wait. Asbo is. Yeah, what's up, Drake?
Hello.
So we. I'm not sure what's going on here. But Asbo is standing still for 30 seconds.
It's all a mental.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe because I think he's hosting at the same time as he's playing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I think he tried to sync it up. But that's not good for him because in this tournament, if you have two teams on the same points, the team with the best total time will advance. So losing 30 seconds there is not good.
For sure.
I guess we gotta ask him later for what's going on.
Yeah, see if maybe they want to like adjust the time or something based on that.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah,
119.
Some good movement going around on both sides, though.
Yeah, 119 from Atomic, and we get a 115 here probably. Yep, we get a 115, and yeah, but he's still far behind because of the pause in the beginning.
But if he keeps up a trend of being, even just a few seconds faster than Atomic, he can definitely make up that time.
Yeah,
looks like Atomic had some trouble going through that cave section, which is fair. That cave section is deceptively difficult.
Yeah, and Atomic bonked multiple times there on that turn, and I think Asbo's PB is over 3 minutes faster than Atomic's, so it would make sense that he would catch up. Mid-high 28 is an okay first lap.
And one thing that's really nice about this tournament is the amount of people that joined in. We have people at all different skill levels and all different experience levels as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's really exciting to see everybody coming together.
Yeah. Is a mouse cursor from Asbo? Yes, I assume so. There's this tiny mouse cursor. Yeah, Asbo gets a 25 lap there. It's good. And look at this. Just from super fast gameplay from Asbo, he has actually caught up already.
And they're almost synced up right now.
Yeah, and now Asbo's actually ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he. Oh wow!
Ooh,
of course, he hit the He hit the eyes at the end, and Atomic actually passed him again.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably one of the more difficult car courses in terms of like default car courses. There's a lot of
Oh, really?
like weird snaking turns.
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit. I think it's a track that is really hard in the beginning, and I think when you get better and better at the game, it gets easier. I'd say. I don't know. I feel like, you know, I've been running this game for so many years, and I feel like Walrus Cove is one of the tracks where you feel like you can relax a little bit. But yeah, I don't think that's the case for newer players. I think you're right there, because the last track is kind of like, well, the last part is like very narrow, and you lose so much time if you fail. And the turn there where Atomic struggled a lot. Yeah. And of course, this track, Everfrost Peak car, which is, you know, originally a plain track. It's just, yeah, this one is insanely hard.
For sure. It's got a lot of like bumps and like fly parts and turn.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually crazy not easy to get a good speed.
Asbo getting a 108, which is pretty decent time. Yeah, if you get sub 110, it's definitely a fine time.
Yeah, he had one lap where he had a really clean exit out of the cave, and it's basically just, you know, stacking boosts left and right, going through real quickly. I think that was his second lap.
And Atomic gets a 128, so Asbo saved a whole 20 seconds over Atomic in that track alone.
Yeah, and Asbo barely dodging that rainbow, the magnet balloon in order to store up that boost, but then missing the blue balloon.
Yeah, so like that's a really hard part. You need to have a lot of control to be able to keep that. Oh wow.
Oh wow, that was.
He's doing some crazy stuff right there.
One way to do it.
Yeah, it's a new strat he's trying out. I've been talking to him about it a little bit, and it might be a little faster potentially, but it's probably not faster. But it looks cool, so.
Definitely does, and that's all that really matters in the end.
Exactly. Yeah, it has to look good. I look at this again. He's gonna do it again. Almost hit that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is fast.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think that is faster because it's very reminiscent of like Windmill Plains car.
Yep. The thing you got to think about is though is that like what you sacrifice for it. Like he has a like now he's gonna boost up here, and if you do what he does, you can't boost up that hill. That you gotta drift up the hill instead, which is pretty slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the both the strats are kind of similar in speed, but it's hard to say. It just looks crazy when you boost over the hill like that. Darkman Caverns. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say. It's a very bumpy track.
Yeah, especially on the swirls that Asbo just finished going through. Like finding the little times that you can kind of tap the brake button in order to complete the turn cleanly is tricky because half the time you're in the air and the braking doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, so for example here, like on the first lap you like hold up on the joystick to not hit your hit the ceiling with your head, and you gotta like in here in this turn as well you gotta hold like up and right, because holding up pushes the car down. So if you hold up and right there, you can push yourself further or like closer to the ground, faster, so that you don't have the issue that you were talking about, because you want to be able to drift. So yeah. So good. So there are a lot of techniques you can use. All right. Aspa's gonna have a 142-ish here, and well, he bonked again. So he's got like a 144 almost. He's not really gonna be happy about the 144. But yeah.
I really struggle with that turn getting into the red loop, because if because I really want to take it fast and get a really nice clean like launch into the cave, but it's hard to get that angle without slamming into a wall somewhere.
Yeah, you kind of need to drift up the hill, and you need to, yeah, like maybe RB turn sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Atomic's gonna be setting up for a 147 perhaps 40. No, not 47. 150.
Yeah, 150.
Oh, if he can get out of tip top.
Yep.
That
And
turtle block right at the end.
yeah, so he didn't lose that much time on that track to Asbo. Oh, Asbo missing the zipper.
Star City is probably one of my favorite courses. It's very aesthetic. Like there's all the colors everywhere, and
Yeah.
you know, the turns to the city section can be really tricky.
Wow. Asbo hit 2 oil slicks.
Wow.
The problem, like I think, when you get to a really high level, Star City is way more fun to play in the trophy race than in the regular race, because when you play it in the regular race at high speed, they are usually putting oil slicks in the middle of the city, and it's really hard to avoid it when it's there.
For sure. I mean, a lot of these last courses have green balloons kind of everywhere, and that seems to be the favorite for these computers, just dropping as many mines and oil slicks as they possibly can.
Yeah, and it's like, depending on how quickly you drive or like how fast you are, they will drop things at a similar spot every time, so you can kind of learn where they are gonna put some bad stuff out for you. But yeah, in Star City it's kind of rough, because you need, like, on the second lap there, you can't really, you can't use a shield, and it's really hard to avoid because the path is so narrow. So I know, and in the trophy race, they are not going to do that. They're not going to drop it there, so it's better drive for sure. But here in Spaceport Alpha, you can get this triple balloon that Az was trying to get, but it's really hard. The main reason it's really hard to do it is because before the last, like right after the last blue, there's a yellow balloon, so you need to actually use them before, like, you have like time limit, or you know, you have to use it at a certain time, otherwise you're gonna lose your boosts. It's really easy to bonk, and if you bonk, you lose a lot of time, obviously.
Yeah, and we just saw Atomic going forward as well. I got a couple bonks on one posts though. It's really difficult to get through that without bonking someone.
Atomic is struggling hard to get out of that. And as you can see, he's not even in first place right here, so he has definitely had a rough first lap.
For sure. Yeah, Asbo finished up Spaceport with a 133. Which is a pretty
Yeah,
solid
133 is a good. 133 is a great time.
Like Atomic got the triple balloon.
Yeah. Asbo had a pretty rough first lap here against Haunted Woods, but it's getting better.
Tom's gonna go for that triple balloon, and he does get the triple balloon. Look at that.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Nice Atomic. And ends up with a 153.
Now Asbo's moving into Windmill Plains. Haunted Woods is a very fast track, but this was a pretty long course. Misses that starting boost.
Yeah, he missed the starting boost. Kind of rare sight, but happens.
Yeah, and especially in trophy race, it can happen because, you know, with all the extra characters, that lag is a little bit stronger. Some courses have a little bit more lag than others. Like I
Oh, yeah.
personally struggle getting the trophy race Frosty Village starting one because that one just seems to take forever.
Yeah, Wizpig 1 is a classic as well.
Ah, yes.
That one you have to like press the A button. Yeah, maybe 0.3 seconds later than usual. Ooh. That jump from Asbo was a beauty.
Yeah, Wimble Plains is visually at like top levels one of my favorite car courses, primarily because of that big jump at the start.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And oh my god, let's see here. Oh, I see this 2806. Oh, missed the balloon. But 2806 second lap there. That's pretty insane.
The Aspo just used a rocket to launch an NPC out of his way. Because that's perfect. That's a next level strat, right?
It's actually pretty nice to do that because you want to keep your line, you know. So if anyone is in your way, you should just shoot them. 132. I mean, yeah.
Which, full
132
disclaimer,
is
is
not
not
too
a
bad.
piece of advice you want to carry into. This is specifically for a video.
Sorry.
When someone's in your way, you just want to shoot them.
Yeah.
I just want to put out that legal disclaimer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd recommend not doing it IRL. It would be pretty bad.
It does not, in fact, save time.
No.
Snowball Valley, though, really fun course, pretty quick one.
Yeah, and it's one of those, you know, inconsistent courses. I think like this one, Treasure Caves and Haunted Woods are kind of in the same boat. We have like a pretty short track with a lot of weird stuff going on, so it's hard to do consistently. High 42 is definitely fine though. He's gotta be happy about that one. Okay. Let's jump there. Yeah, and Atomic used the balloon a little too late, so he kind of flew over the zipper instead of getting the extra speed. Wow, Asbo taking a dip. You want to feel that chilly water.
It's just that quick refresh, you know, is all it is.
Exactly.
You're driving so fast and working so hard, you kind of get, like, you feel a little gross. Just need a little refresher.
That's true.
Ooh, going for
He
a...
tried
Go ahead.
Yeah, he went for the salt cure. Salt cure jump. But he didn't get it.
Yeah, the Salt Cure jump is it's very precise. It's one of those top tier, time trial sorts of movements. It's like if you're watching like a top time trial player in car for this course, like they're gonna be going for that as kind of their bread and butter.
Yeah, and Asbo is one of them. He has, I think, he's third place in the Frost Village Treasures. Ooh, he made a menuing mistake here. Restarting the level.
Yeah,
now we have Treasure Caves.
So it's really rough in this category because there's just so much time and lag that happens on the course selection screens.
Exactly. And as said, like Treasure Caves is one of the 3 short, inconsistent levels. And Treasure Caves is probably the worst one of them. It's kind of crazy.
It's a really satisfying course when you get a good time on it, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It is really cool. Huh? It's better in time trials?
Yeah, especially better in time trials because you don't have to worry about like the NPCs being, you know, the way that they are. You can just focus.
You can't do the boost into the cave strat though. The FRG strat, as we called it, because the guy who came up with it is called FRG, an old player, former runner, former world record holder actually in this game. And we have Crescent Island here for Asbo.
Crescent Island is another one of those nice aesthetic courses.
I agree. I think Crescent Island is an underrated track in general.
Mm-hmm. This turn though sucked. That one right at the end of the lap, like I'll never forgive that course. I have almost as much contempt for that turn as I do for all of plane.
I thought you would. I thought you liked play now that you've played it so much.
No, no, that will never change.
Really?
It
That's
feels
surprising.
it feels fun when you pull something off, but if you like make any mistake, like you're losing 6 seconds and it's just a standstill and it just hurts so bad, like physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yeah. Plane is a very difficult vehicle. It was definitely the vehicle I learned last.
Yeah, for me, the last vehicle to learn is going to be the hovercraft. I was going to learn it for this tournament, but you know, with the amount of people that did not want to play plane for the tournament, I kind of filled in that spot for my team.
Yeah. But I think it's been good. I mean, if you are planning on becoming better at the game in general, you've had you've been really, you know, trying hard. So I think that's really awesome. Got to do the same for all the vehicles, over and over and over, and then you'll become super good.
That's the goal. And it's been a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite games from my childhood, so it's nice to be a part of the community, see all these great runners.
Yeah.
And as we're
awesome.
right now in the trophy race for Dino Domain, since the last 3 courses just lines up 3 car courses in Dino.
Sadly. So it's faster for the track selection to just do the trophy race instead of the regular ones. Actually saves 3.5 seconds per race, so there are 2 races. So save about 7 seconds on menuing by doing this instead of selecting all the tracks at the end. Of course, Bernino, the best. And 2 laps done. Oh, kind of rough. This is the second to last race.
Yeah, the last course is going to be Jungle Falls, which Asbo is going to be getting into pretty soon here, which has my personal favorite music track right behind
really...
Dark Moon Caverns.
I think Jungle Falls is also like one of those soundtracks that people sleep on, because when you ask people what their favorite is, they never mention Jungle Falls almost, but it's such a good tune. It's kind of unique as well from how it's formed, or like what it sounds like. Okay, last lap.
I'm going to 22:17 for Asbo.
It's
really solid time.
It's really interesting to see how similar his times are in this tournament. Like, have you seen his? Like, see, I want to open up the document here. It's kind of interesting to see. Let's see, Asbo's times in this tournament have been 22:12, 22:14, 22:02, no, 22:05, 22:06, and 23:58 because he messed up the shortcut in the Split Alpha ones or a couple times, and now this 22:18. So he's around that time every single time. The low 22s.
Yeah, it's definitely a really nice time bracket to be in.
Yeah.
And we have Atomic finishing up that third lap in Fossil Canyon. He did miss the balloon and the boost track, and I don't blame him for that. It's a really tricky turn to make.
It
Two
is.
very quick drifts in a row and kind of go against what your hands want to do.
Yeah, canyonless is kind of a rough trick. Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see the bracket later.
Yeah, now that that's been fully posted in the Discord and easy to find, I've been kind of keeping an eye on it.
And Asbo's team is going up on a third place after this race, but they've played a lot more races than most of the other teams.
Yeah. Alright, so now Atomic finishing off with a 24:34. So still for him a really solid time.
Absolutely.
And I mean, just in general, that's still a really good time. Like, we can see that it's a couple minutes back, but to be honest, these are both like very good time.
Yeah, and it requires a lot of practice.
For sure. There's a lot of really tricky turns and jumps that you wouldn't normally think about when you're first starting out with car.
Yeah,
Definitely
sure.
a high skill ceiling.
This game has like an infinite skill ceiling.
That's true.
It's kind of insane.
And that's evident with the sheer amount of world records that keep getting set like every other day.
Yeah, and yeah, that's just that's what happens. Just crazy. All right, Atomic, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to here. Congrats on the run.
Thanks.
So how'd you feel about it?
Sometimes really good, but mostly not great. I know there's a lot of potential that I can still make up. I'm sure I can get an easy 23 during this tournament at some point. Brought my PB down to 24:14 the other day with a few runs, but I think I can still do a lot better. Particularly the non-vanilla car tracks are the ones that I have a hard time with, especially. Space
For sure.
Gave me a hard time. Space Dust Alley, those sorts
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, I did see you
Frost
get
Peak,
the
yeah.
triple balloon in Spaceport though, so that was really nice to see that happening.
Yeah, I just looked at good runs and tried to follow what I saw.
That's about the best strategy here.
Mhm.
Hello, Asbo. Sure
Yes.
can.
Congrats on the win.
Yeah, congrats.
And what happened at the beginning? So, Chloral says you're muted in chat. Maybe you're muted in OBS with your own
Oh yeah,
mic.
sorry. Okay, I should be on now.
No.
I was just saying that was the easiest way for me to sync up the streams, just giving myself a 30-second penalty. But it was not.
Yeah.
It wasn't optimal, but it was a good run though. I think for me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Snowball Valley was really good. Windmill
Yeah,
Plains was
42.
good.
132. Yep.
Space Dust Alley was fairly decent. I got to show off the trick.
I think it was sub 130. I think it was 129.
Yeah, I was also really happy about that. Fossil and Frosty Village was absolute garbage. I think I had a 120 or something.
I'm trying to think.
I had a really rough time there.
You had a few races that were a little rough, but I think your Star City was kind of rough.
Yeah.
You got double oil slicked and stuff like that, and yeah. But I mean,
All in all, it was an okay run. I think it would have been like a sub 22 at least with
yeah,
the.
I think that the harder tracks you struggled less with
Eh,
than the easier ones.
yeah.
Felt like.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Because like you messed up a lot in Star City, and then you just nail Spaceport Alpha right after.
Yeah, that was
Like
also really good.
133, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like it was a roller coaster run for sure, but it was still good.
Yeah. Atomic, you got another game coming up, don't you?
Yep, I've got 3 today.
Ooh, nice. I think you're
2 in a
playing.
row, 1
think
break,
you have-
and then another one.
Oral next?
According to calendar, it's Andy Bundy
Should be
versus
Andy Bundy.
Atomic.
Oh, Andy. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna. Thank you guys
Should be
for. Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And
GG.
it's gonna be fun to see which teams are gonna go to bracket. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see if Asbo can reach there.
So I think it's about time for us to get set up for that next match.
Mhm.
I personally will be stepping out. I do have a baby in my lap who decided he does not want to entertain himself anymore and needs the love and attention of his father. So I'm going to dip out, but I will continue to watch. I'll have that cast up on my TV. So thanks everybody for coming out. Fantastic first race to start the day. I'm looking forward to all of the other events. We're pretty much back to back for like the next 2 hours. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be here for at least this race, this next one. And